Hello, welcome to a brief 30-minute gentle yoga practice. My name is Kailey. There's a tail coming into the camera here. This is my mouth. We will start this practice laying on the tummy. So you can lay down on your front side, get yourself comfy, bring your elbows wide and stack your hands so that your forehead has a little pillow that you can rest the forehead down on. Or you can always drop the arms down by your side and turn your head to rest on either ear. Take a moment to figure out what's going to be the most comfortable position for you to settle in and start your practice today. And then just allow the body to start to melt into that shape without forcing anything. See if you can lengthen your pattern of breathing just a little bit. Bring more awareness into the body as you breathe in. Letting go of any gripping or tension as you breathe out, just letting any tightness drain through the body and out. Just a few more cycles of breath here. Notice any physical sensations that you're aware of. If you're resting your head on one side, you can go ahead and nod the head to the other side, bringing some balance into the mat. Be aiming for that sense of harmony in the body. Or if that feels inaccessible today, some days that does feel a little inaccessible, and so we'll aim for some unconditional acceptance of sensation in the body today. One more long breath wherever you landed. Big in through the nose, let the belly fill, let the ribs expand. Open mouth exhale here, sigh it out. Lift the head, bring the elbows underneath your shoulders, setting up for Sphinx Pose. Got a little obstacle in front of the camera here. Make sure the elbows feel directly beneath the shoulders. That's going to give you a nice stable foundation here. You can turn the palms up, you can flip the palms down. You can even reach your fingers for the opposite bicep if that feels comfy, to kind of have a little anchor point for the hands and the crook of the elbow. Relax through the feet, maybe even windshield wiper back to the heels. Relax through the glutes, move the hips side to side. Bring your right ear toward your right shoulder. Continue to press the left elbow and forearm down gently to stay extra long in that left side of the mat. Breath in. Feel your chin to your chest, nice and slow. Bring the head back through neutral for a moment. Just notice the rebound sensation in the left side of the neck. And then drop the left ear toward the left shoulder, right elbow and forearm push down. Take a big breath in, relaxing through the right side of the jaw. Chin to chest as you exhale. And just let the head be heavy for a moment. You could shake the head gently, no, releasing any tension at the base of the skull. Real slow here. Bring the nose up through neutral. Tilt the nose as high up as you comfortably can. So opening up through the front of the throat without forcing anything. Breathe in. And lower the chin to the chest as you breathe out. Take a couple more like that, nice and slow and smooth, mobilizing the neck, finding some extension in the cervical spine. Any little sound effects in the back and some flexion in the back of the neck would be my fur babies. Flip-flopping around on the hardwood. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower all the way down, walking the hands back underneath the shoulders so the elbows are bent. Drop the forehead or the nose down to the floor, and then slowly roll up. Tuck the tailbone under, so we're just lifting through the upper body. Lower down on an exhale, relax to the sides of the neck. Lift it back up on an inhale. Couple more. So today's practice is really going to be focused on upper body. We'll be mobilizing a lot through the shoulders, hopefully in a way that feels good. So keep that in mind. If anything feels uncomfortable, go ahead and reduce the range of motion. So move smaller and maybe even move slower until you can find a range of motion and a pace that feels welcome in the body, that feels like it's helping you move some energy without creating more potential discomfort. We're all the way down, and then press back to a child's pose. Big toes come close together, knees might part pretty wide. Bend your hips back toward the heels. Walk the fingers forward, bringing the wrists in line with the shoulders if that feels comfortable. We're opening up to the underarms a bit here. Take a few deep breaths, breathing into the back side of your ribs, breathing into the bottom of the lungs. You can invite the breath down all the way into the lower back as you inhale, expanding through the back of the ribs and down around the kidneys and the adrenals. Lift up just a little bit and then walk your hands over to the right. Arms stay long as you walk the fingertips over to the right, finding a big stretch to the left side body. You can keep the arms long, drop the head down, or keep just the left arm long and bend your right elbow so that that right hand comes back toward the right knee. That might feel better in some folks' shoulders. And the focus, the emphasis anyhow, is on the left side body. Breathe into the stretch to the left side, breathing into the left lung. You can relax any gripping around the mouth or the jaw, inside of the cheek. Swap it out, pausing in the center if that feels helpful. Sometimes it feels good to take a breath in neutral, letting the spine be, not in that side bent position. Eventually setting up for that side stretch, walking the fingers over to the left. Maybe both arms are long here, maybe just the right arm stays extended and you bring that left hand back toward the left knee. Inviting the breath to be more of that belly style breathing here. So breathing in and letting the diaphragm move down. And exhale, letting the ribs and the belly soften and recoil. Come back to the center. And then lift the chest up, bring the knees closer together, maybe hips distance, maybe all the way together. Walk the hands back toward the knees. We're gonna take a little kind of kneeling cat. So tuck the tailbone toward the knees. Start with your lower back and your pelvis. Round, 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 and then chin to chest. You might even walk the hands back a little bit here, coming into a rounded spine, our little cat back. Push the fingers down and energetically away as if you're trying to pull the mat out in front of you. As you come into cow, you're going to untuck the tailbone, send the heart forward, and then imagine that you're pulling the hands back. Pull the chest through the upper arms, perhaps the chin tilts upward. Take it back into that cat shape, pressing down and forward through the palms. And then cow, pushing down and pulling backward with the hands. Couple more. You can exhale to round the back. And inhale to find your arch. Or you could breathe in a different pattern that makes sense for your body. The key is to be aware. Notice the sensation of the in-breath and the sensation of the out-breath. Whether you link the breath perfectly to the pose or not is far less important than being in touch and present in your body. Next time you come through center, go ahead and walk the hands right in front of the knees. The thumbs are close together, maybe even the thumbs overlap for a second. And then sweep your left arm up and open. Find a twist to the left. Bring that left hand back down. Maybe just covering up the right hand. Push the right hand down into the floor. And then reach the left arm up and open. A couple twists like that. Push the floor away with your bottom hand. And next time you come up into that twist, I'm going to pull forward just a little bit here. The next time you have your left arm up, bring that left hand down back behind you. Shift the weight into your knees, lift the hips, reach the right arm up. It's totally fine for that right elbow to be bent. We're taking a little half camel variation. Then bring that right hand back down. The left arm sweeps to the right and then up and over to the back. Reach the right arm up. So a little mini flow here. Right hand down, hips down. Left arm swings across into the right. Push into the hand. Bring that left hand to the back, lift the right arm up. A couple more, just moving through a twist and a little bit of a hip extension. The next time you're in that half camel variation, pause for a moment here. We're going to lower the hips down. Come into eagle arm, sweeping the right arm under, left arm over. The palms can come together perhaps, and you adjust that and press the hands into one another. Bring your elbows in toward your navel, rounding the spine here, a little cat back. And then arch the spine, little cow back. Couple more, there's zero rush. See if you can kind of feel into every vertebra, like segmenting this out. Maybe feeling more into the spine as three parts, right? Lower back, mid back, and neck. The pelvis, the lower back to the middle back to the neck. Last bit. Try to unwind the arms, grab your strap if you'd like to use something between the hands, or you interlace your hands back behind you. So maybe you just interlace, that goes back behind you. Maybe you grab something to hold on to. Hinge forward through your hips. And then rotate the ribs toward the left. So spin toward the left here. Stay long in the sides of the neck. Feel into that stretch for the shoulders. Come back to the center, and then spin your ribs to the right. Pull the wrists and the hands away from the body. So side to side again, so center, twist left, and then center, twist right. And back to the center, sit all the way up. Bring your hands into your lap, let the eyes soften or even close. Moment to observe any difference between the right and the left side of the body. Any difference in where you feel energy moving, where you feel perhaps some shifts from when you first started your practice here. Keeping in mind that there's not like a right thing to be observing. There's not a right outcome to be experiencing from this practice. The goal really is just awareness, unfolding and expanding and deepening. And so we'll go through all kinds of different layers of observation, different things that we notice. See if you can kind of settle back into a more neutral, equanimous level of observation. So there's no negative or positive, it just is. 3 more long breaths. Big breath here, in through the nose, let the lungs expand and the ribs lift. Open mouth, exhale. Keep the eyes open if they were closed. And then when you're ready, bring the left hand down in front of the knees. We'll inhale the right arm up and open, pressing that left hand down. Push left hand down as you sweep open with the right. And then bring that right hand back down to the left. A couple times like this, keeping the hips on the heels to start. So by keeping the pelvis down on the heels, it means we're going to feel this twist happening in the ribs and the upper spine, thoracic spine. And that's the goal. One more good pass like this. The next time you've lifted up, go ahead and bring the right fingers back down behind you. Bring the left hand up, lift the hips, and then find your half camel on this side. Left hand comes down. The right arm sweeps forward and across. So keep that right arm low this time, twisting over your left shoulder. And then swaying it back behind you, planting into the right hand, lifting the hips and the left arm. A couple times like this, finding that twist, that spiral as you reach right arm to the left. And then that back bend with that twist as you lift the hips for half camel. One more nice full round, getting the fullest range of motion that feels good for your body today. Pause in your next half camel. We're going to set up for that eagle arm variation, slowly mindfully bringing the hips down, bringing the left arm under this time and right arm over. Palms working their way toward one another. Kind of work that out. They might not. Maybe you're more on the wrist than the palm with that bottom finger, bottom hand. But press into the forearms, push into the hands. And then elbows toward your lap, rounding the spine. Finding that arch, finding that back bend as you lift up. A couple more like that. Maybe soften the eyes down if you haven't already. With the eyes closed, you may find that you want to move a little bit slower so that you don't get dizzy. We're going to unravel the eagle arms and find that bind with or without a strap or a towel. Interlacing the hands back behind you, keeping the hips down but hinging forward. And then rotating the ribs side to side, pulling the knuckles away from your sternum. Sending the sit bones back. When you're ready, go ahead and sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands into your lap. Let your eyes close down again. Feel any tingling in the arms, shoulders. Really simple pranayama practices here. We're going to do 2 sips of breath in through the nose, followed by a long exhale through the mouth. So a few rounds of that. So in through the nose twice. A long exhale. And and 2 in through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Once more. Normal breathing for a moment. One more pranayama practice. Pranayama yama means to control or restrain, and prana is energy. Tap into the energy often in our physical bodies through our breath. So oftentimes prana becomes translated as breath. So super simple pranayama practice here. Inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose or the mouth for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. In through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one for 4, 3, 2, 1. And out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of any control of the breath. Pause and observe. Notice what you're aware of in your physical body and sensations there. Also notice any awarenesses that you have in the space around you. Maybe there are sounds. Maybe you're aware of temperature in the room. If you're lucky, maybe there's something lovely smelling happening for dinner. When you're ready, you can transition to your back. Before we come into Shavasana today, we'll take a spinal twist with the knees bent. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and the arms to a T or to a goalpost shape, whatever is comfortable in your shoulders. And then shift the hips to your left, just a couple inches. Drop the knees to the right. And reach down with your right hand to catch the crook of that left knee. It feels good to keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. You can keep your nose pointing straight up. If it feels comfy, you might play around with nodding your chin over your left shoulder. Head through neutral. If you nodded your chin to the left, take a breath. And then swap out that spinal twist. Shift the hips to the right, just a couple inches. Drop the knees to the left. Maybe you catch the crook of the top knee with your left fingers. Nose points straight up, or you nod your chin toward your right shoulder. Inviting the breath into the belly, the chest, maybe even into the throat. As you exhale, letting that right shoulder and right knee feel a little bit heavier so the muscle can start to kind of melt away from the bone. Coming back through the center. Unwinding out of your twist as you extend the legs long on the mat or the floor in front of you. Bring the arms down by your side with your palms turned up. You shimmy the shoulders a little closer together underneath your ribs. And then tuck the chin just about 1/8 of an inch, so a very tiny tilt toward your chest to bring some length into the back of the neck. We're often kind of got the chin jutting up a bit. See if you can tuck it just a bit so that cervical spine comes more toward neutral. Very brief body scan here, bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. Letting the scalp melt as you wash your awareness down through the forehead, across the temples, in the center of the brows. Relaxing the eyes, down across the cheeks. Bringing the awareness to the mouth as you decompress the jaws, the lips, the tongue. Continuing down the neck and the throat. Melting down through the shoulders beneath you. Softening down through the upper chest. Washing the awareness down the length of your arms, letting the muscles melt away from the bone and the palms soften as the fingertips just gently curl inward. Releasing and relaxing down the entire trunk from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone, the belly, the pelvis. Letting your awareness wash down the legs, relaxing the thighs, the knees, the lower legs and ankles. Letting go of any holding in the soles of the feet or the toes. Bringing your awareness to your entire body. Relaxing the skin of your entire body from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. When you're ready, you can start to bring some gentle movement back into your body, nodding your head side to side. Maybe opening and closing your hands or circling your ankles. I have a little ankle pop there. I don't know if the mic picked that up. Meet me in a comfortable seat. There's zero rush to get there. Closing your practice intentionally by bringing your hands to your heart, either palms around the heart space for that kind of sense of connection, or coming into Anjali Mudra, feeling the two sides of the body. Acknowledge yourself for taking care of your mind and your body and your spirit in this way. A little reminder that we do this practice so that we can show up with more clarity in our community, so that we can show up with more authenticity, a little bit more to share in general for the people and the things around us. Cleansing breath here together. Inhale, big into the belly. Let the ribs expand and lift. Maybe the shoulders shrug up into the ears. Sip in just a little bit more breath. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Thank you for sharing some of your space and time with me. Take good care. I hope to see you soon.